Welcome to the pre-week show. I'm your host, Stuart Brooks. Lucas Stambos, our other host, could not be here tonight. However, we do have a message he has sent us. Here he is right now.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there this week. Liverpool saw my punditry and they've offered me a corporate box for this week's game. So, directly live in England. I'll be back for the review show very soon.
We will see you then. Here we are with the pre-week show, Game Week 8. Have you put the kids to bed? Are the kids already in bed? Turn the PlayStation off. Turn the Xbox up. We are talking all things Premier League, previewing Game Week 8. I am your host for today, Stuart, and today we have a very special guest filling in for our host, Lucas Stambos. We have Johnny Hondrakis. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Johnny Hondrakis, Brighton versus Burnley. What are you thinking?
Okay, well, Burnley are at the bottom of the table. They do only have 1 point this year and were comprehensively beaten by Chelsea last match day. However, I do think they will bounce back. They've only scored one league goal all season. On the other hand, Brighton have scored every match so far this season, so I think they'll also score. But I do think Burnley will win 2-1.
For your 3-leg same-game multi, I've gone a draw. This is an interesting one. Brighton have been scoring and Burnley haven't been scoring, but this is one of those games where I think Burnley could show up. And of course, with that, I've gone Ashley Barnes, anytime goal scorer, and I do think this could be a goal fest. I've gone over 2.5 goals. On to the next game. We have Southampton versus Newcastle. Go, John.
The big news for this one is Danny Ings is out. However, I do think Shea Adams has shown us all this year that he can fill in the big boots. I think he will play really well. Ward-Prowse as well is in form. He's as dangerous from free kicks as Sergio Ramos is from set-piece situations in corners. Newcastle did have a fantastic win against Everton. The back five looked solid, but I do not think they will be playing with 5 at the back this round against Southampton. So in this one, I do think that Southampton will win 2-0.
I've gone, interestingly, for your 3-leg same-game multi, Newcastle win. Callum Wilson, anytime goal scorer, has been very in form, and I am liking him on this run home of fixtures. And Shea Adams, as you say, to have 1 or more shots on target, I am liking him at the moment, and I do think he'll replace Ings as nice as you probably can for what Ings produces. On to the next game.
Okay, so we have Everton versus Manchester United. We all know that there is heaps of pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, especially after their midweek loss. They're 15th on the table, Manchester United, and they haven't scored in 2 consecutive Premier League matches. I really think they need to start Edinson Cavani to support the likes of Rashford and Martial. On the other hand, Everton have also lost 2 in a row after their fantastic start to the season. They were absolutely shocking at Southampton and just as bad at Newcastle. Just goes to show how important James Rodriguez is when he's fit. However, they are at home this week and I believe they can do some damage up top even though they are missing Richarlison. And Manchester United's defence is shaky. So I apologise to all Manchester United supporters, but I think Everton will win 2-1 and Ole will be getting the sack.
This is a tough one, okay? I don't know if Everton or United win this. James Rodriguez comes back into the side this week. Digne also comes back into the side this week. But as you say, Ole is on the line and does need to prove a win. I reckon this is a goal fest. Over 2.5 goals. I reckon James Rodriguez, anytime goal scorer. And I've gone yes to both teams to score. On to the next match.
All right, we have Crystal Palace versus Leeds United at Selhurst Park. Well, Palace did start the season impressively with 2 massive wins, which surprised many, but they really have been exposed by the bigger clubs. They lost to Chelsea 4-0 and Wolves 2-0, so they're obviously not going to score against the big teams. Don't really back Jordan Ayew. Leeds have been really good this season. They've been the best out of the promoted teams by far. I reckon they will finish top half of the table and Bamford is class and Jack Harrison is up and coming. I think Leeds win this one, 2-1.
3-leg same game multi. Once again, I completely agree. I think Crystal Palace just do not play well under Hodgson. I see him being the first manager sacked this year, even with Soska so close being on the line. But I've gone a Leeds win. I reckon Bamford scores, and I reckon Zaha scores as well. I don't like Zaha, but if you're going to score, it's going to be against Leeds. On to the next one.
All right, next match. We have Chelsea and Sheffield. Okay, so I honestly feel sorry for Sheffield. They've had a massive drop in performance from last season and are languishing in 19th on the table with 1 point. Chelsea have lost once all season and Werner is playing amazingly at the moment. I think he's going to have a field day and he will combine again with Ziyech, which he did last week against Burnley. So for this one, not too much to say, but I think Chelsea will win comfortably 4-0.
4 goals. Fucking nil. God. Chelsea, Sheffield, 3-leg same game multi. Chelsea to win. Completely agree. Ollie McBurney, 1 shot on target. I reckon that's doable. Chelsea's backline looking good. He doesn't need a score. Just get that big fat head of his straight onto that goal. Timo Werner is looking in form. He is getting a bit more in stride. He's now taking penalties. I have him as an anytime goal scorer. On to the next match.
Okay, next one. Huge London derby. Unfortunately, no fans. But for Fulham fans, very positive note. You did finally register a win against West Bromwich, 2-0. Played very well. But West Ham have been a surprise this season and playing really well. Even last week against Liverpool, they were unlucky. I think they deserved a draw. I don't see Fulham beating West Ham, and I think West Ham will win 2-1.
3-leg, same game, multi. I reckon Fulham's going to win this. I've gone Fulham to win. They looked phenomenal against West Brom last week. I know it's West Brom, but West Ham have really come off a really couple of tough fixtures. They've done kind of well. I reckon they're going to gas out a bit. I reckon Fulham's going to attack. I reckon Fulham's winning this. I reckon it's going to be a goal fest. Over 2.5 goals, and I reckon Mitrovic puts 1 in the net. On to the next one.
Okay, so we have West Brom versus the Spurs. West Brom, I reckon they played shocking against Fulham. I don't think Fulham were that great against them, and they just look lost in the Premier League this season. The only result they got this season was a 3-3 draw against Chelsea, and that was honestly one of Chelsea's worst matches ever under Lampard. Spurs, on the other hand, they have Son and Kane firing and look like the dynamic duo of the Premier League this season, and they are looking unbeatable. I think they will win 4-0.
Oh my God, 4-0. Big predictions, Johnny. I've gone Tottenham to win. I think Gareth Bale goes back-to-back. I reckon he starts on the weekend, and with Lo Celso coming back into the side, being uninjured, I reckon he adds a new layer to creativity in that midfield for Spurs, and I've gone both teams to score no. This will be a clean sheet for Tottenham. On to the next one.
Okay, so we have Leicester City against Wolverhampton. Just a key note, both times these two teams met last season, it was a goalless stalemate, and Wolves have looked very good this season defensively. They've kept 3 clean sheets from their last 4 outings. Jimenez is gelling really well with Podence, who's really stepped up in the absence of Diego Jota, who did go to Liverpool. Leicester, in my opinion, will be playing Champions League this season. They have class all over the field. Vardy, Maddison, Tielemans, Schmeichel, Evans, they're all fantastic players. They knocked off Manchester City already this season, 5-2. This match, I think it will be a draw, 1-1.
3-leg, same game multi. Leicester win. Okay. I am backing this. I see past results and everything like that, but I reckon both teams need a win here. Wolves are going to be firing this into the box on Jimenez's head. Leicester's been scoring. They won 4-0 this morning against Braga. They 4-1 against Leeds. They scored against Arsenal, who have arguably one of the best backlines in the league. I've gone over 3.5 goals between both sides, and I reckon Maddison to have 1 or more shot on target. Scored and assisted this morning. I reckon it's his time. He's going to prove himself now that he's dropped out of the England lineup once again. On to the next match.
Okay, so this is a big match. We have Manchester City versus Liverpool. Uh, both teams do have injuries. Liverpool have injuries in their defense, whilst Manchester City have injuries up top. I do think City go into this one as favourites since it is being played at the Etihad. Liverpool look really fragile at the back without Virgil van Dijk, and I think that City can really expose them. I don't think Liverpool will have that fluidity that they usually have against other teams, and they will be required to press a lot. I think Manchester City will win this one 3-1.
Man City, Liverpool, I've gone a draw. I see this being really, really much of like a 1-1, a 2-2. Liverpool are going to concede, but they do have the power to completely destroy a defence such as Man City's, who are looking very shaky at the moment. Still trying to find their feet with Laporte, Diaz, and Ake still injured. I've gone under 2.5 goals. I've gone, yes, both teams to score. On to the next one.
Okay, big one for us, S. Brooker. It's our team Arsenal against Aston Villa. Arsenal played really well at United last week. We finally managed to keep a clean sheet, and we have improved defensively so much this season. I'd like to point out that David Luiz has been a standout for me, probably Arsenal's best player this season, in my opinion. He's a real leader on and off the pitch, and it just shows. I think Aubameyang Lacazette will have a big night against a shaky Villa. They are currently out of form. I honestly reckon they got lucky against Liverpool. They should definitely not have scored 7 goals. Probably one of Liverpool's worst performances in the past 5 seasons. I don't see Aston Villa upsetting the Gunners at the Emirates. And I also think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet. So 3-0 to Arsenal for me.
Over 2.5 goals. Ollie Watkins, first goal scorer. This has Arsenal written all over it. Concede very early, play very average, get a late one. This could be a 1-1, but I'm pretty certain this is Aston Villa are scoring first. Ollie Watkins, first goal scorer, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, play to have 1 or more shots on target. Hardly did anything last week, got that penalty. He's got a good run of fixtures, but I don't back him for a goal this week. That's all the time that we have for. Big thanks to Johnny Hondrakis for coming down, helping out, being a great guest host, filling in for Lucas Stambos. He will be back for the post-week show on Monday. We'll see what he was thinking, see if some of my multis came off. We'll leave you to it.